All right, time now 1:02. We are going to get started. My name is Stefan Lubinsky, and I will be the host for this session of Mission, Message, and Media. This is a three-part live series to hopefully get your wheels turning as it relates to your marketing, as it relates to converting leads. So I'm going to give you the origin story about how we got here and why Chad asked me to prepare these three live sessions for you. So Chad and I have known each other for over 10 years. Many of you probably don't know me at all and don't know my background, certainly, but I was in the mortgage business. And I enthusiastically was a member of the California Association of Mortgage Brokers. And then I was an instructor for them. And then I became a speaker in the business for a short enough period of time. But that's where Chad and I got to be friends. Since leaving the mortgage business, I have been involved in mostly media startups, whether they were social media or television media. I had a radio show here in Austin for a while. I sold a podcast to an agency. So I definitely have a huge love and passion for media and how harnessing it appropriately will drive results. And while I'm very passionate about video media, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a second, this discussion about mission, message, and media is really about all media. Although again, I'm really bullish on video. All right. So what is this all about? So Chad and I were talking about the fact that he is really a big fan of video sales funnels, right? So why video? I'm sure most of you have heard that people don't make buying decisions based on empirical data. They make it based on what? Emotion, right? I mean, we all know, we've all kind of been in sales courses and we've read that or seen that, or you just kind of know that to be true. And video, more than any other media format, it transmits the most emotion, elicits the most emotion. And you know that in your own life when you watch a really sad Hallmark commercial, or you're moved by something on a Facebook video, or you're moved by a Facebook, a Super Bowl ad that is either really funny or really touching, like the Budweiser with the horses and dogs and all of that stuff. So emotion is what really drives the results, and video is how you can elicit emotion at a higher rate than below that, let's say, images, right? Or audio. So still multimedia. And then below that would be the written word. So if you're a professional author, if you've really written books, or you know what I'm saying, and you can write about characters and elicit emotions, it's really hard to do it in text. And so we were talking about video funnels, and we were talking about what made them successful. And part of it was the mechanics, right? Part of it is that there are stages, right, to this know, like, and trust funnel, right? We all know that trust is the currency of sales, okay? But there's content that needs to go in alignment with where somebody is in the content funnel, if you will, where they are in their buyer's journey, right? If they don't know you yet, then you need to captivate them. And so you're creating captivating content, and you're getting to know people. And then you're moving through educate and entertain, but through frequency, people get to like you. I mean, think about this for a second, right? You're out to dinner with your significant other and the local weatherman with the channel that you watch, because we're typically like that. Like, we watch a particular weatherman for some reason. Most of you are not watching all three channels all the time, or whatever, or 20 channels. You will have this sense after watching that weatherman for how many days of the week, for how many years, that you know that person. And often you will like that person. And often you will have a sense that you trust that person. And that was really as a output of frequency. The fact that you saw them consistently, that you liked what you saw, you liked them, you liked their attitude or their professionalism or their on-air broadcast quality or whatever it is. But that's why you continue to tune in and to be loyal to them. So and they brought value. I hope they brought you good weather, or they brought you jokes about the weather or something, right? And so that frequency and consistency of message, but really of personality, just of seeing them in video on television, gave you that sense that you knew, like, and trusted them. And that if they sparked up a conversation with you, you'd be altogether too happy to have a conversation with them. Oh, here's my card. And you'd be on Facebook. I met so-and-so. Here's my pictures, my selfie. Here's my Instagram, right? So talking to Chad about video sales funnels, what makes them work? what makes the ones that convert versus the ones that convert less. It's not the mechanics. It's not about when the messenger bot kicked in or when the email sequence kicked in. I mean, that does need to be in the right order, but ceteris paribus, right? Keeping all things equal, looking across different campaigns that are using the same structure of funnel. Why do some perform better than others? Well, it really comes down to, at some point, the lead, right, comes in contact with the principal, with the salesperson, with the consultant, with the loan officer, with the realtor, with the whoever it is. And when I say they come in contact, in whatever format. So for example, let's imagine that's in video format, but they're stumbling in the video. They're not concise. The language isn't persuasive. They're not on message, most likely because they're not on mission. And that's what we're going to get to right now. And then that means they're not poised on media. So I wanted to give you the background story that this is about marketing and that it started by understanding what's going wrong with video funnels that really perform versus those that don't. But we could expand that to a networking event that I just went, meaning I want you to understand this is not, oh, I don't have a video sales funnel, so I'm out of here. It's not about that. It's about understanding the why behind why one is performing. And now I'm going to translate it to real world. I'm at a big social networking event in Austin. And a guy, and I said, comes up to me and hello, Frank, and what do you do? And he starts mumbling about kind of, well, I'm in between things and I do a little bit of this and I don't know. I said, Frank, let me help you out here. If you're going to run around telling that story to people at the networking event, this is going to go well for you because your purpose was to become more employed, to sell your services, to sell yourself, to make connections, to have people want to introduce you to other people. And he's like, right. Do you feel that the message that you just gave me would accomplish any of that? And he was like, no. Mm-mm. And so we took 30 seconds to rewrite what came out of his mouth when somebody came up and said, what do you do? And we're not going to go into what that was. The point is it changed. That night, he came back to me at the end of the night after going through the entire room. He was beaming. Point was he was on message. And when he was on message, he was much more poised. And when he was on message and poised, people were converting in the sense of what is a conversion? The exchange of cards. Let's keep in touch. I know somebody. Maybe I can help you, whatever it may be. Excuse me. So let's go back to mission, because fundamentally what I believe is this. It all comes down to mission, message, and media for your marketing. It doesn't matter if we're talking video. It doesn't matter if we're talking about your Instagram. It doesn't matter if we're talking about your blog or whatever your format is, wherever you're captivating, wherever you're educating and entertaining, wherever you're convincing and converting, wherever that may be, your website, a networking event, when you're pitching, when you're actually pitching them, when you actually meet with a client and you're trying to explain why they should work with you and they're shopping 3 other people. My point is you're not going to have this together until you have this together, which is message. And you're not going to have message together if you're not on mission. All right. Okay. So now we're going to get into mission. So there's a whole consulting practice out there focused on companies becoming mission-driven. And the reason is that mission-driven companies, for example, are 54% more likely, employees rather, of mission-engaged or mission-driven companies. Their employees are 54% more likely to stay over 5 years. And they are 30% more likely to be a high-performing company in their niche and have growth revenue, okay? So I want you to understand what we're talking about for mission from 2 very important angles, 2 sides to the coin. One is inward-facing, one is outward. Let's cover inward first, right? So I interviewed a Navy SEAL recently named Clark Impastato. You can follow him on Instagram at like Frogman, I don't know, Google him, Clark Impastato, Frogman2155 or something like that. Amazing guy. And interestingly enough, he had a fear of heights, which is not something that's too useful when you are in BUDS training, when you are trying to become a Navy SEAL. And for those of you who are not familiar with the story of Navy SEALs, to apply to become a Navy SEAL, they have like a 90% dropout rate. They ring a bell during this voluntary physical application process called BUDS training. And really only 1 out of 10 that applied, and these are all servicemen, these are all soldiers that were all tough guys in their units, only 1 out of 10 makes it. And the net of this podcast with Clark was that mission trumped all else. Mission trumped fear, mission trumped procrastination, mission trumped whatever emotion that is a block for this guy, including fear of heights. So he didn't want to climb the web thingamajiggy that goes 70 feet high. He certainly didn't want to jump out of an airplane. But he was on a mission to become a Navy SEAL. Do you know what those other guys were on a mission for? They were on different missions. They were on alternate missions. I'll give you an example. And he confirmed this. They were on missions to be perceived as more of a badass, meaning they wanted the cool factor that went along with being a Navy SEAL. But the mission wasn't really, I must become a Navy SEAL. It's I must get recognition, or whatever their other core mission was that wasn't on point. 9 out of 10 ring the bell. And why I'm bringing this up is that in order to do a better job than you're doing, in order to affect change, meaning if you're on this, it's because you feel like you could be doing better, for sure. If you felt like you were on point, you wouldn't be on this call. So you're like, man, how could I be doing better? Well, to affect change is going to push you out of your comfort zone. And to be pushed out of your comfort zone, to create video when you think that you suck at video, to revisit how you craft your mission and all of these things, whether it's just work, whether it's a pain in the ass, whether it's just something you're not comfortable with, doesn't matter what it is. Those are all blocks to you actually doing it, right? And so mission actually trumps all of that shit. So let me explain what I mean. The mission is not your mission statement. I'm not talking about some sort of MBA-related document that you print up that's on the About Us part of your website. It is not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, let me give you an example, my mission, right? So I'm founding the Self-Employed Survival School, and my mission is to work with either the newly or struggling self-employed, the person who is responsible for generating their own sales, has to do their own marketing, and they are overwhelmed by the options. And frankly, they really don't know what they're doing. And they need help in getting focused on mission, message, media, and then crafting a marketing campaign that will sustain them. I do not take people to the next level. You're making 100,000, you want to make 1 million. There's coaches for that. It's not what I do. I am on a mission to help self-employed, whether newly or struggling, who are concerned that they're not going to make ends meet. That's my mission. That's my tribe. And it's important that both of those go together. I need you to understand this part, okay? Again, not a mission statement. It's a flag. Meaning when I wake up, I care so much about these people. Not just my clients, the ones I want to become my clients. Because I am on a mission to get them to never have to hit the apply here button again, to burn their resume. That whether it was their dream or out of necessity that they needed to work for themselves, either one, that they will be able to do it. And for a lot of people, 44% of self-employed people don't reach their fourth or fifth anniversary. I can't remember. You can look it up. It's a Bureau of Labor statistic. 44% of people do not make it. I think it's to year 5. So that's my niche. So for example, if you're a loan officer, you can't be all things to everybody. So the first part of mission is tribe, in my opinion. Side note, if you haven't read Seth Godin's Tribes, go get it. That's your first homework assignment. Please, if any of this is resonating with you, I promise I don't share something to waste your time. I do it because it's either improved my life or it's improved the life of somebody that I've worked with. So I'm telling you, get on Amazon and get Seth Godin's Tribes. Here's side note to the side note. If you're not consistently reading something to improve your business and your own personal development, then you're not on game. You know what I mean? Like that's what it takes. So you could be reading a bunch of other stuff or whatever. That's fine too. But you should when somebody says, "What are you reading?" You go to a networking event, you should have an answer for that. You know? So right now mine might be Seth Godin's latest one. I mean, it's not that I only recommend Seth Godin. This is marketing. It might be The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck from Mark Manson, which is a huge bestseller. I highly recommend that. So tribes. A mission has to have a tribe. A mission can't just be, my mission is to provide the best pricing in the Chicago area for mortgage-related products. Nope. You could say my mission in Chicago is to provide the best mortgage pricing available for veterans, for police officers, for whatever. So, and by the way, I want to be really clear when I'm talking about niching down. Okay, it's not mutually exclusive. Please understand that. I'm not saying that by focusing on a tribe and an audience, you can't do other business. Of course you can. It means that what you're focused on in creating content and intention and action is an audience that you have defined. You're more than happy to take ancillary business from outside of that target, okay? We're talking bullseye, but you can still take business from the rings that surround that bullseye. But we have to be focused on the bullseye, okay? So what else do I want to tell you? All right, so mission internally is important because when you're on a mission to help these people genuinely, when you are on a mission for these people that you genuinely care about, you genuinely give a shit, like you do, not give a shit from the perspective of like, if I get this many of them, I make this much money. I really don't believe that your mission can be defined by a certain amount of money. I believe that your mission can result in a lot of money, but it can't be defined by it. Now there's other coaches and there's people on Facebook and all that shit. That's their entire focus. They bring you into their garage and show you their cars and all that shit. I'm the opposite of that guy. Okay. So I'm not trying to make anybody rich, including myself, other than rich in experience and in mission and in family and in all of that. So in order for you to do what you don't want to do, this is what next person's name to write down is Mel Robbins. Okay. Mel Robbins, one of her best quotes is, if all you ever did were the things you don't want to do, you would have everything you ever wanted in life. Okay, jot that down. If all you did were the things you don't want to do, you'd have everything you ever wanted in life. That's pretty powerful. Okay, so that's why having a mission matters, because then you're willing to do stuff that sucks. Maybe that's the sentence. Maybe there's the big thing, okay? Having a mission means you will do the stuff that sucks. Now, the mission has to be both. Whether it's, for example, if you said it's to provide the best pricing, then by definition, you couldn't say also to provide a VIP luxe experience. Because how are you going to do that? How are you going to provide a VIP luxe experience that might include like FedExing stuff and cars picking them up? Or I don't know, whatever luxe is for rich people, right? And best pricing. Impossible. You're going to be premium priced and go after a luxe market. And it's okay if that's your mission. My mission is to provide the experience that my affluent customer base expects with integrity, transparency, authenticity, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then you could provide a very expensive service to them. Okay. So I'm not saying mission is based on price. It's just an example. Your mission can be whatever. I just need you to come up with a mission that serves. This is the formula. The mission doesn't serve you. It's not, I'm on a mission to make a bunch of money. It's who's my tribe? Who are the people that I want to take through Know, Like, and Trust? I worked with a loan officer, Dave Politzer. If you're still in the business, hey, Dave. He was a police officer, 20-year veteran. Smart, retires, pension, becomes a mortgage broker, loan officer, and then focuses on what we all know, on police. He knows what police officers need to know, what their triggers are, whatever. He's an expert in that tribe. And they know, like, and trust him. So he tapped right into a group that if they actually knew him, immediate trust, immediate business, but then there was transfer of trust, which happens within a tribe. Write this down. Transfer of trust happens within a tribe at a much faster rate than if your shit's all over the place. These people aren't all connected. Tribes are usually connected, either by industry, by location, by psychographic. But if they're truly a tribe, often they kind of know each other in some way, which means that the referrals, the testimonials, the social proof, the fact that you're on a mission for this group gets around, okay? And that's why mission, in the way I'm defining it, is inward, to have that flag to do the things we don't want to do, but outward, the fact that mission-driven companies like Warby Parker and what's the shoe company? With the guy, not Joe's Shoes. Oh, shit. But you know what I mean. The shoes got the name on the back, and you buy one pair and they buy a pair for, kids that don't have shoes. people want to work with companies that are on a mission that is greater than profitability. Profitability needs to be your outcome. So what you're defining is, these are the people I give a shit about. This is the mission I'm on for them. That is both internally what keeps you going to do stuff you don't want to do, to make sure that they get the captivate, educate, entertain, convince, and convert, know, like, and trust content, but also outwardly so that they know this person is on a mission for us. You got to know this guy. You got to know this gal. She's unbelievable. It's on a mission. So that's what it is about. It's about that mission being for them. At the core of your mission is serving, helping. Okay. I told you about the Navy SEAL. Ultimately, your mission, by the way, becomes your marketing advantage. Okay. Your mission is what leads to your both defining your messaging and your audience. The two most important things in marketing, just so we're clear, well, I'll give you all of them. They're the right audience identification, which / targeting. So did I identify the right target for who I am, what I do, what my mission is, what my credentials are, what my sphere is? All of that goes into it. Right audience, right? Then you target that right audience with the right message, which is based on the fact that you're on a mission for this audience. Now that content changes based on whether it's part of Captivate content, which might be a lead magnet, right? Could be a video series, whatever. Educate, entertain, convince, and convert. It all starts with mission, which is why this was session 1. All right. And you radiate your mission. You radiate that mission live and in person anytime that you're meeting somebody. I love to go to a networking event. People say, what do you do? And I say, I help self-employed, independent salespeople survive the challenges of being self-employed. Or I actually say it more eloquently than that, but I'm trying to think about this thing in real time. So your homework for before tomorrow is to marinate on whether or not you have spent any time really thinking about the tribe that you serve, the audience that you serve. Did it happen haphazardly? Are you just marketing to wherever? You're just geographically putting out Facebook ads that are like, I've got good loan rates or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So have you spent time to figure out, are you talking to the right audience based on who you are and all the other components that go into that? And if you want to engage with me to further peel that back, we can do that. All right. So your homework is to give that some thought. What is your mission and for whom? What is your mission and for whom? You got to write that all out, and maybe many times. Maybe ask your significant other. Maybe ask some close friends. So that's the gist of it, I think. I think I've basically said what I have to say about mission. So what are next steps, right? So you figure out who I wake up for, who I fight for, who I do the things that suck for, why I do this, the why that drives me. And then the next thing that we're going to talk about tomorrow at this time is messaging, and what messaging means and how we use persuasive language to move people through the know, like, and trust funnel. So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. All right. I am going to quickly go to the chat room and see if there are questions that anybody had. It looks like not one, either that or my chat thing is not working. If you want to unmute yourself and ask a question or push back or tell me you think that was a bunch of horse pucky, by all means do that. So this is the part, I guess I went 26 minutes. So I guess we have 4 minutes or so. I mean, I'll stay here as long as you like, but if anybody has anything they want to contribute, do that. Otherwise, I look forward hopefully to having this conversation again tomorrow or whatever this was. I guess it's more of a presentation or I don't know what it is. My thoughts. Same time, same place, tomorrow, 1:00. As you can see, there was no sales pitch. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Most are all general and not niche specific. Right. Exactly. So that's kind of my point, is that a lot of you are really just saying, look, I want to cast because your fear is, if I niche down, I'm excluding, which is not really true. However, you're getting the mishmash of stuff, right? But casting that wide net is really not a solid marketing play, because it's not valuable to the fish being caught in that net. right? You're just this trawler and you're getting some that are worthwhile. You're spending a lot of time chucking stuff back into the sea, and really only a few of those fish are what you were looking for. But the truth is, the reason that fish bite on a lure, and this is an important thing to understand, is that lure was designed for the specific fish. I'm fishing for tuna. I'm fishing in a specific spot of the ocean for the tuna. And then I'm using a specific lure that this tuna is attracted to. And so that is a way better strategy, because then I'm going to be bringing in tuna every time. I'm not saying I'm going to bring in 10 tuna in the first time I'm out. I'm saying I'm fishing for tuna. Eventually I'm going to get a tuna. And by the way, that first tuna I catch is going to inform me how to better catch the second one and third one. And with time and experience, by year 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'm a top tuna fisherman. Okay. Whereas if I'm a bottom trawler, nothing changes. I don't learn shit. I'm just dragging the bottom for whatever comes in. And those things got caught up in your net. They got caught up and they just got brought up to your boat. They didn't jump into your boat. They were like, they clicked on something and said low rate or whatever the promise was, free toaster. They don't have any allegiance to you. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't necessarily trust you. They just, like, if you can put the best deal in front of them, you can have them. Personally, that's not who I want. I want like raving fans. I want people that are giving me video testimonials, by the way. Write that down. Video testimonials. That's social proof. If you guys don't have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 video testimonials from past clients, you're really missing out. Yes, go work on your mission. Thanks for your insights. You're more than welcome. Thank you for all of you that joined. If you have other questions, like I said, unmute yourself if you want. Or put it in the chat. And if not, then I will see all of you guys tomorrow, and we'll spend another half hour apparently talking about message, and then we'll finish up on Friday talking about media. And I guess the hope is that between those 3 days, you'll have figured out some points of action that you'll write down, put on your calendar, and actually do, and then maybe make a testimonial video for me in the Facebook group that says, hey, I wrote some things down. I turned them into calendar items. I actually did them, and I feel good about that, and I think I'm getting some results, or whatever it is. That is my hope. So thank you for being here. And with that, we are coming up on exactly 1:30, and I guess I'm going to end it right there. So once again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'll see you in the Facebook group.